Hello and welcome to Two Old Goats Farm. Today we're going to talk about chives. I harvest the chives today and I have a few applications that I'm going to work with. So I just wanted to go over and give you a couple of different options. Chives are really easy to grow. I threw these seeds in a grow bag about 3 years ago. They've been coming back every year and I'm really happy with it. I cut them sometimes and use them as a little flower centerpiece when the chive flowers bloom, or I'll use it for seasoning with food, but I've never really concentrated on it until this year, so I just want to show you what I did. Today I went into the kitchen garden with a pair of shears and I basically just grabbed a hold of a bunch of chives and gave it a good haircut. So no more chives in the garden, but I should have enough to get through the season as far as seasoning. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to dry my chives. That's very simple. You go through all of the chives, you make sure you get all of the thick woody pieces out, all of the grassy dry pieces out, rough chop them, put them on a parchment paper on a tray, leave that out to dry. When you walk past it, give it a nice feel, move them around. Should take about 2-3 days for chives to dry out, and when they dry out, put it in an airtight container. I did keep mine in the freezer and they came out very nice every time I planned on using it for a recipe when I did have it. So that's what I do with the chive stems. Another application is we're going to make chive finishing salts. So with the chive finishing salt, the first thing I did was cleaned my chive flowers. You see here, this is a bunch that I've been drying. I just simply cut them, put a rubber band around the bottom. I have a little paper clip and I hang this in my basement. And these are in the process of drying. You can use them for flower arrangements, whatever you want to do, but this is just another way to dry your chives. You can use them as far as culinary as well. But I had taken all of my chive flowers off of the stems before chopping them, and I soaked them for a good long period of time. There are a lot of little crevices in there that our friends can hide in, so I literally had to take each blossom, make sure that all the friends had found a new home, pick them off and I put them in the compost pile. If they survive, they survive. If they don't, I'm sorry, but I don't want them in my finished product. And what you simply do is you take a hold of it and you pull the flowers off individually. And I collected about a cup of chive flower blossoms. You can see here, these have all been washed, picked through, had another look to make sure that nobody was getting a free ride. And I'm simply going to take a sheet pan with parchment paper and just dump that on there for now. The next step would be the zest of 1 large lemon. So we're going to take that and add it to as well. And then lastly, 300 grams of sea salt. And we'll add that to the mix. So what you want to do is you want to mix everything up by hand. Make sure everything is well incorporated with each other. The benefits of doing this from chives that you grow in your garden, you can control the environment. So all of these chives that I'm drying, I can control that there was no added chemicals put on the product, on the chives, that they were organically grown. I processed them all, I went through them all and manually inspected them. I feel confident with the end results, and it makes you feel good too. It's less money than going out and buying it from the store, the big bulk stores. There's been an issue in the news as of late of heavy metals found in the large box store spices. So, you know, we want to be careful with the things that we put into our body, and this is just one way to control it. Chives have a great, excuse me, several great properties. They're an antioxidant. I wrote it down. They're anti-inflammatory. So let's just say you have a sore throat. If you take some chives and you steep it with some hot water and drink that, it's a great home remedy for a sore throat because it deals with the inflammation of the glands. It has anti-cancer properties. It's good for vascular circulation. It's a good cleanser. So you look to incorporate these things into your diet to help to remedy some of these things. It's not a catch-all, but you know, the other side of it is that you use manufactured drugs. So I'm not saying stop taking your drugs or anything, but just think into consideration, I don't have any cough syrup on hand. Oh, I have some chives. Let me steep some chives and maybe this will get rid of my sore throat. If it does, we're all better for it. So this is what my finished salt product is going to look like. I can dry it in one or two ways. 2 hours in an oven with a wooden spoon, keeping the door open at the lowest temperature that your oven goes on. We want to get rid of all the moisture in the flowers, in the lemon, and in the flour itself. Or you can keep this in a dry, sunny location for up to 4 days, turning it several times a day and dry it out that way. When it's all finished, I'll put it in a glass airtight container and I can finish off a salad, a steak. Think of it as anything that you would like to add or incorporate an onion flavor to, a vinaigrette. It's going to have a really pretty look to it as well as a taste. So there's all kinds of things that you can do with that, and it should be a lot of fun. The other thing I'm going to do is a vinegar. So I have about a half full of chive blossoms. Again, cleaned, picked through, made sure everybody was off the free ride, and I just had chive blossoms in here. You want to take about 2-3 cups of white vinegar. You want to make it hot. You do not want to boil it. You want to get it right before a simmer. And we're just going to pour that over. Oops, try to get everything into the jug and not all over the table. And we're just going to submerge all of those pretty flowers in that vinegar solution. Okay, once this cools, okay, you never want to seal anything when it's warm, hot, whatever. You want it to cool a little bit. So once this cools, I am going to put a plastic lid on it. You can get these at any canning section. I think I got these at Walmart. And we're going to seal this, and we're going to put it in a cool, dry place for up to 3 weeks, 3-4 weeks. During that time, the oils, everything, all the goodness of the chive flower is going to seep into the vinegar. We're going to strain it through a cheesecloth, and then you can keep that in the cabinet. It doesn't have to be refrigerated. Again, think oil, flavor, your vinaigrettes, anything you want to maybe put that flavor to it, that note to it. You don't have an onion on hand, well, now you have some onion vinegar that you can use. Another fun way to use your chives, I made this for Mother's Day. Unfortunately, it doesn't look as nice as it did on Mother's Day because it's been in my freezer. This is what was left over, but I made chive butter. So you can see here how pretty it presents itself. All this is 1 stick of unsalted butter. I cut up, I can't remember, this was, it was 2 cups, where are you? I did have this written down. Oh, 2 tablespoons of finely chopped chives. So you want to make them really thin. You also want 2 garlic cloves, finely minced, chopped as well. And then 3 tablespoons of chive blossoms. So again, that's the blossom flowers. You want to clean them, pick them apart, and mix that all together with a soft unsalted butter. If you want salts, you can add like a half a teaspoon of salt to that. And then what I did, I pressed some flowers into it after I shaped it into a log, so you could have them on the outside as a visual as well. And it came off really nice. It has a great garlic onion flavor that you can add. Chop off a chunk of that and put that on top of a steak that you just grilled. Not only is the presentation very pleasing to the eyes, its flavor is very, very good. So again, this is just a couple things that I do during the course of the day. The garden's starting to really pick up, so I will have a few videos of that coming up. But this is the way that I treated my chive blossoms today. If you have any questions, send me a note, and I hope you enjoyed. Take care, everyone.